All right, guys, welcome to episode 35 of the Attack the Rack podcast. I am here sipping on a cocktail. Shout out to my cuz Fuzz. Today is Tuesday, day after Memorial Day, the day after Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to get into that and other NBA stuff today. Joining the program later will be Trent Windemuller to talk about the upcoming NBA Finals and recapping the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Thanks, as always, for tuning in to the Attack the Rack podcast. Thank you all so much for supporting the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, why don't you take a half second real quick and click subscribe. If you do want to be notified every time we post something on the channel, then you just click that little bell. If not, don't click it. All right, Dale, roll the intro. Welcome to the Attack the Rack podcast. I am your host, Kurt Van Hecken, and you are tuning in to the #1 rated podcast on the planet based on the people that rated it #1. The Attack the Rack podcast is brought to you by Get2 Media. Hey guys, now that Memorial Weekend has come and gone, it is safe to say that summer has officially begun. The program today is sponsored by sunscreen. This time of year, more so than any other time of the year, it is important to lather up with sunscreen. I use sunscreen and I reapply often, and you should too. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, today is Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. I had a phenomenal Memorial weekend. I was in Grand Rapids Friday night. Had a birthday party to go to Saturday night. Sunday, spent an amazing day at my sister's beach house. Went for a boat ride. Just enjoyed the great weather. And I also ate really well. Definitely fell off the wagon a little bit this weekend with my weight loss. We'll see tomorrow on the next episode of my weight loss journey videos how the weekend played or how the weekend had an effect on my weight loss. We'll see how that goes. But I did have a nice, relaxing, just a really great holiday weekend. I hope you did as well. As I mentioned, today is Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be the new day that the podcast is going to come out. Every Tuesday, we'll have a new episode of the podcast. Wednesdays are going to be for the weight loss journey videos. And then Thursday will be the newly added to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel, the quesadilla review. Thank you guys so much for supporting the quesadilla reviews. I'm getting a lot of good feedback on those, and hopefully you guys are enjoying those as well. All right, before we get into today's program, as I did mention, Trent Windemuller will be joining us a little bit later to talk about the NBA Finals. We'll recap some of the NBA playoff stuff and talk a little NBA draft as well. So yeah, last night the Heat defeated the Celtics 103-84. The Heat pretty much controlled the game the entire way. Jimmy Butler led the way with 28 points. The Celtics just did not play well at all. They couldn't hit shots. Jason Tatum, he hurt his ankle early on in the game, still played 42 minutes, but only scored 14 points. Jaylen Brown had 8 turnovers. So not enough production out of the top 2 players. And if those guys are going to have off nights on the same night especially, they are not going to be successful, and that is exactly what happened. So now we are looking at a Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets NBA Finals Game 1 tipping off Thursday night. What's that, Dale? Okay. All right, guys. Producer Dale has just informed me that we've got Trent Windemuller ready to go. Trent Windemuller joins us today via the Ring Ryan video call, brought to you by Realtor Ryan.
Real Estate Ryan has been in real estate for over 20 years and can help you with all your real estate needs. Realtor Ryan has helped me in my journey in learning about real estate, and he can do the same for you, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just learn more about real estate in general. Ring Realtor Ryan.
All right, we now have Trent Windemuller joining the program via the Ring Realtor Ryan video call. Trent, welcome back. Third time on the program now?
Third time, yep. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, let's before we get into some NBA stuff today, how was your Memorial weekend? I know you were out of town, as was I. How was your holiday?
It was good. A couple buddies went to Michigan City, a little casino and golf combo.
Yep.
It was a good time. Yeah, really good weather. Wasn't too hot. Golf courses down there are a disaster. An absolute disaster.
What do you mean?
So they have two municipal courses in Michigan City, south and north. So we booked the south for Saturday morning, like 10:30. We show up. Dude goes, we're not going to have any carts for like an hour and a half. And I'm not one to go walk 18.
No.
I would prefer riding. So we're like, screw it. We'll find somewhere else. So we found this other place. Ended up being pretty nice. I forget the name of it, but it ended up being pretty nice. And then on Sunday, we played at the North course. We booked a little bit of a later tee time. It was a later night on Saturday. So booked a later tee time. We get there. We were like 12:24 was our tee time. We show up and no carts. The place is packed, just packed to the brim. And then, so we're waiting around. We probably didn't tee off till 1:30 on Saturday, but it was like carts are coming in. They hop out, dude cleans it. Next group in, they go tee off.
Yeah.
But there's like this whole bottleneck with like 2 5-somes on 2 holes that were holding up everybody. And there's people that were there, they had tee times at like 11:40 that didn't even go yet. So we were like the 4th or 5th group waiting to go. And then one lady walks from hole 4. So we're just like standing there, just like shooting the shit with all the people there. And lady comes up and she goes, "Hey, cart died on hole 4. So can we get another one?" And then the starter is just furious because it's his cart that they have to give up.
Yeah,
So she gets that one, goes back out. She comes back like 20 minutes later, and she's like, "Cart's got a flat tire on hole 6."
Oh my gosh!
So now there's a cart dead on 4, and there's one with a flat tire on 6, and they already don't have any carts. So then this other dude who had a cart that worked there, he had to give up his cart. So now these dudes are extra pissed.
Yeah.
And the lady's pissed. So it was their 3rd cart, and then her little riding mate was like, "Next one better be a Cadillac." So everybody there is just giving them a bunch of crap, and yeah. So other than that, it was a good weekend though. Had some first time having, what was it? It was a restaurant called Cool Runnings. It was Jamaican food.
Yeah, okay, like the movie.
Yeah. So it was like all Bob Marley'd out in there and stuff.
Yeah.
It was good. I never had Jamaican jerk.
What'd you have?
Jerk chicken, and we had some. What else do we have? Curry shrimp.
Okay,
that was good. It was good. It was solid. I'd go back.
And then you said casino. Was that Blue Chip Casino you went to? The boat?
Blue Chip, yeah. I forgot you could smoke cigarettes in there. It was like, you know how it goes. You get the regulars, and their only reason they're there is to smoke a bunch of cigs and.
Yeah.
So it's like, you go in a couple hours in there, but it was all right. My one buddy hit pretty big on a slot. So
slots.
He hit like $600. Yeah.
Okay. Well, nice. Gotta like that.
I ended up losing like, I don't know, $20.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah.
$20 for some fun entertainment.
Yeah, it was a good time. Decent golf. I'm not great, but it's fun.
All right, man. Well, now it's Tuesday, back on the grind. Trent is a teacher. Got a couple more weeks of school, and then you get a nice summer break.
Yeah, June 12th is last day. We have to show up on a Monday for a half day.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Interesting schedule.
Thrilled about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had years ago. I was a full-time sub at a school district here nearby, and the very last day of school was a Friday, and it was supposed to be a half day, and the power went out in the school, and so there was no power right from the jump, right from the opening school bell, and at about, I don't know, pretty early on, about 8:30, they realized they weren't going to get the power back on, so they sent everyone home, and we had to come back again for a half day.
You had to go back.
Yes, we had to go
Even
back
with all the kids that were already there.
What's that? Yeah. Yep.
School was full. It's like they were already there.
Yep.
Dang, you had to go back.
We had to. So they sent everybody home, and we had to come back on the following Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. That's
tough.
Yeah, Monday should be easy. We got a little talent show going on, so
okay. All right. Well, that'll be
all right. Smooth day.
Hey, over Memorial Weekend, was it? What was it? Yeah, it would have been Saturday night. Was Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah, Saturday night.
I believe it was Saturday.
Did you guys watch the game?
Yeah, we watched. The sports book was kind of like separated from it, but you can just bet on DraftKings there, so it's not really. I don't know, if you can just bet on your phone, it's easier than having the book.
Yeah,
but yeah, the sports book was like down the hall a little bit, so it wasn't like really integrated in the whole casino part.
Okay,
so we kind of just like around table games they have TVs and stuff, so I would glance at it every once in a while. I kind of figured the Celtics would win. I don't know. Yeah, I did once the Celtics won that game. I honestly thought like it was over, but especially with the officiating crew that they had last night.
Yeah, what was the deal with that? The Heat were like 0-12 with that crew or something like that.
Yeah, when they had Foster and the other guy.
Yeah,
Celtics were 20-9 against the spread. So yeah. But now I think the NBA is kind of on to like people actually paying attention to like what the records are with teams when they play. And I think they're starting to kind of like try to change it and make it seem like those guys aren't pulling now they're investigating the one guy, Eric Lewis.
Yeah.
I don't know if that got debunked or not, but they said they found his like burner Twitter.
Yep.
And he's like a huge Celtics guy.
Okay.
So they had like a picture of his family, and his family all had all Celtics gear on. So I don't know.
Well,
they should look into it though. They should honestly like deep dive into NBA officials.
Well, I agree. I think we talk about this on a podcast.
With Chris Paul and Scott Foster.
Yeah, that too. But there's the Tim Donaghy. He obviously was involved in some scandalous activities, but he came out and said, the NBA doesn't necessarily, they'll meet with the officials before every game, and they'll tell the officials, hey, here's how we want you to call the game. Now they're not telling the officials to, don't call fouls on this team or make up fouls for this other team. But they're saying, hey, make sure you focus on making these calls.
Yeah.
They're not asking them to make up calls, but they're saying, hey, every time this happens, make sure you call it.
Yeah.
And, they do that because obviously they want, certain teams to win. I'm sure they are not pleased with a Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat NBA Finals. I mean, the Heat has a pretty big, that's a pretty big market, but could you imagine the Celtics Lakers NBA Finals?
Well, like star power, just like if you went based off like league popularity, like, I mean, Jokic obviously, but there's just not that person that is like super explosive or flashy. Like obviously us basketball fans, we love to watch Jokic just because of how he plays and the way he plays. But like from someone who doesn't watch basketball or is just like just watching the game, it's probably not the best series for them to tune in at because Miami plays pretty good defense as well as do the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Jamal Murray, he's going to be like the guy that is flashy and doing all that unless Jimmy goes for 46 again.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it. I know they have bad blood from a previous year where Jokic hit Marcus Morris, and then the whole Jimmy he's like, come to the back and
yeah.
I like it for that purpose. I also like it because I don't like Boston, so they win enough in sports, so it's good that they're out. It's interesting that I don't know, great comeback by them, but Tatum and Jalen, you guys like they have to show up. They didn't show up.
And
flat out.
Yeah, before we get to Game 7 last night, let's rewind real quick. What did you think of the last play in Game 6, the tip-in buzzer beater?
I thought it was awful substitution by what's his face. Strus is sitting on the bench for the last 7 minutes, and Duncan Robinson.
Yeah,
and they decide to sub in Strus for the last possession. But then Game 7, they're playing this dude number 24 who hasn't played all year. I don't even know who that is. And he comes in and locks up Tatum.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he sub in? Put him in to box somebody out. Because it's a Strus missed box out. So
is that what happened? Because I just look at what the imbounder Derek White.
Yeah.
White. What a phenomenal hustle play on his part.
Great play on his part.
Drew it in and immediately went to the rim to get a potential offensive rebound. So young players out there, unless part of the play your coach draws up is for you to then, after you inbound the ball, go screen or go do something, run right to the rim and look for the offensive rebound. I mean, phenomenal hustle play by him.
For sure. And he's been doing that. That's like his role. He embraced it. And I don't know, because I believe he was on the Spurs prior. I don't know his role in the Spurs because they were so bad. But, yeah, I mean, it was a great play by him. Interesting. I don't know. There was 2.1 seconds, and then it put to 3. So I don't know. I don't know why Marcus Smart's taking the shot.
Exactly, and who knows? Maybe that wasn't
that was third option or fourth option.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible, just the way it played out. Like Jimmy gets the free throws, timeout or whatever, and I mean. I'm loving the premature celebration videos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See the one at the wedding?
No, I didn't.
Dudes were watching on their phone at the wedding. They told everybody that the Heat won, so everyone starts.
Oh my gosh!
And then it ends up like, oh well.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, but great hustle play. Yeah.
Well, and then what do you think of the Western Conference Finals? Obviously, the Lakers they're a 7 seed. On paper, they wouldn't have been favored.
Bring out the brooms.
But, I mean, I'm sorry. I still feel like the Lakers with LeBron and Anthony Davis had enough talent to not get swept. I even think they probably could have won the series. But
I mean, best player ever. Like, come on now.
Right, exactly.
You gotta get one. I get your 30, whatever, but you gotta get one.
Yeah, and then of course after Game 4, after the loss, he now is talking about retiring. How much weight do you put into that?
None. He's not retiring because he said, what did he say the other year? He said he was going to wait for his son or whatever. He's going to play with. He wants to play.
He said he wants to play with Bronny, but
I'd wait to play with Bryce.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say, I don't really understand how good Bronny really is. A lot of people think he's just got the hype because of who he is. A lot of analysts don't feel that he is necessarily an NBA talent. Certainly, he's undersized. I wonder if.
Yeah, he's like 6'2", 6'3". Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's like Russ.
Yeah,
I think he's explosive enough. I don't know. I think he'll have a chance. I mean, especially what some of the NBA guys are saying about other guys in the league, like not loving the game and not like they're expecting all this to happen for him, and
Right.
I can kind of see him pushing through that, and I think he actually does love it. I think he'll be okay. I don't think he'd be like a
I think
his
game translates into the NBA,
Sure.
NBA style today. But a lot of people do just think, hey, no one's taking away anything. No one's saying he's not a good player, but there are people out there who say, yeah, he's a good player. He's a D1 caliber player, but he's not necessarily an NBA caliber player. And then you wonder,
out.
is
USC?
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously, they're not. They're in the Pac-12, so they play some good competition. So we'll see.
When's that switch over to the? Aren't they going to the Big Ten?
I think it's after this coming school year. After this coming season. After this,
and it's them and UCLA.
Yes,
and is it just those two?
Yeah, So that'll put the Big Ten at 16 teams. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Travel must not clearly be an issue.
No, money is nothing for these Power 5 conference schools, I don't think. So
Penn State to California, 4 times a year.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Bronny too. I mean, I would think if LeBron and Bronny are going to play together, I would think that would mean that Bronny needs to come out after freshman year or sophomore year.
Yeah.
If he's not good enough to come out after his freshman year or sophomore year, now you're looking at junior year, senior year, 3 or 4 years down the road yet. Will that maybe
that puts Bron over 40? Yeah. So he's going to have to be a one and done.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think he's got to be a one and done if the reality of those two playing together is going to come to fruition.
I agree.
All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more of the Attack the Rack podcast. And welcome back to the Attack the Rack podcast.
And then also with the Western Conference Finals, a lot of people were saying Joker. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but I heard people talking about, is he now a top 5 big man all time? What do you think of that?
All time
top 5 big men.
I mean, are we including like Tim Duncan and Dirk?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. They said top 5 centers, but when I look at Jokic,
I think
I mean, I know he technically
plays the 5
listed next to his name, but is really I don't. He's not a center like what a traditional 90s style center like Hakeem Olajuwon and those guys.
No, and there's not even like set positions anymore, so it's so much different. So I mean, if you're comparing them, if you combine anybody over 6'10", that played the 4-5 role, I don't know. I mean, Dirk. I mean, Shaq's the most dominant ever. Kareem, Tim Duncan, top 10.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, and then you get to the older guys like
I know, and that
Walton and those dudes. Like I don't even.
And that's where it's like I've never actually seen Bill Walton, as you mentioned, play. I've never seen Bill Russell play. I've never seen Wilt Chamberlain play. I saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a little bit at the very end of his career. So it's hard for me to, when you throw those guys out and you still got guys like, and the position has totally changed. So, I mean, you've got guys like Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson. These are centers. But then you've also got power forwards that are considered big men.
Right.
Barkley, Karl Malone, Kevin McHale, obviously Tim Duncan. So for me to put him in the top 5 at this juncture is a stretch, but he certainly, I would say, is on that pace.
I agree 100%. And he's just so good at everything. And he plays at his own pace. No one's going to speed him up. I think he's so effective because of how slow and methodical he plays. and he can, like, I don't know, he just knows where people are.
Yeah.
Give his team credit. Like, they tell him to get to spots no matter what when he has the ball, and he can just hit those spots if he needs to. So I think he shoots it good enough. His touch is so good. He's so solid, and he's not even that athletic by any means. Like, he's not over there just like dunking the ball all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's all just fundamental good passing. Knows, like, looks off defenders. I think it's all a lot of it's IQ for him.
Right.
And I would say top 10 all time.
Top 10 all time big men.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the other thing too is obviously Embiid won the MVP.
I got that one right. I didn't get the rest of the stuff right.
Yeah. But despite Embiid winning the MVP, a lot of people do feel that Joker is currently the best player in the world.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I don't know. I mean, Embiid had a great year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess rightfully so. He earned the MVP. Because playoff basketball doesn't, like, I don't think that's included.
No, they
voting
made the decision before the playoffs. So
yeah, and like, if you're going off consistency, Jokic, it's every night. He doesn't really have those down. Like, his bad night is like a low number triple double, or like almost like 12, 10, and 9.
Right.
Like, that's not a great night for Jokic.
Yeah.
Embiid, I don't know. He's good.
Well, as much as I cannot stand LeBron James, I'm someone that does believe that two things can be true at once. So I am someone that is able to say I cannot stand LeBron James. It is true that I cannot stand him, but I think it is also true that I still feel he's the best player in the world.
LeBron?
Yes.
Like, right now?
Right now. Yeah, I still feel he's the best player in the world. I don't know. I guess I just question where his mind is these days, how much he really cares these days. Obviously he's a load management guy. So that just fuels the fire I have for not liking the guy. But again,
he built the team to tear down, to build a new team.
Yeah. I can't stand the guy, but I do feel
he's very good.
Yeah. You mentioned Jokic and his abilities to have triple doubles, and obviously he has a ton of triple doubles. I feel like LeBron James should be damn near close to averaging a triple double, every night, as much as the ball's in his hands, And
if he's winding down his career, it shouldn't be to attack. Like, he shouldn't be attacking to score as much. He should just, like, create for others.
Yeah. And he can still easily just get 20 points a night.
Yeah. Just by doing what he does.
Yeah. So anyway, enough LeBron talk. He seems to be a common theme on the podcast, and as much as I don't like him, I'd love to kind of ease him out of the themes of these podcasts. But hey, he's still relevant. Yeah, he's still relevant. Again, he's still one of the top players, in the league, and so he's always going to be a topic of discussion. So now we're looking ahead. NBA Finals, Nuggets, Heat. Game 1 is Thursday night. Who are you picking to win the NBA Finals, and why?
The Nuggets in 6 games.
6 games?
Maybe, yeah. 5? Nah, 6. We'll go 6.
All right, yeah, I agree with you. I can see it going as I don't think they're going to sweep, but
yeah,
see it being done in as few as 5 games.
Yep. I just think the Nuggets are. I mean, give the Heat credit.
8 seed.
Yeah, it's incredible what they did. And Tyler Hero will be back. That'll be interesting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Their role players are. I think that's what it comes down to with playoffs, is how well your role players are playing going into playoffs. I mean, Jimmy scored low mid-20s last night, I believe.
Yeah.
And
No, yeah, he had 28 last night. Yeah.
okay, high 20s, but like Caleb Martin had a great game.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent was great. Duncan did what he needed to. Bam's fine. So it's like, whose role players are better? I think the Nuggets role players are better. Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon was the other dude. They got Caldwell Pope, I believe.
Yeah, Caldwell Pope. Yep.
Bruce Brown.
They got
I think their bench is better, and their stars are. But they have two true stars. The Heat stars are a little bit different.
Yeah.
They kind of have to play that team role to be really.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of stars, back to last night's game, Celtics Heat. Jason Tatum, obviously, I know he did tweak his ankle early on in the game, but yeah, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they didn't show up last night.
No.
Tatum I think he finished with 14 points, but he played 42 minutes. Maybe his ankle did affect it, but Jaylen Brown, 8 turnovers.
Ton of them.
Yeah. Just obviously, if both of your two best players are going to have an off night on the same night, you are not going to win.
No, and then like the role players got to step up too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, for sure.
Caleb Martin had 26. I mean, Bam had 12 points, 10 boards, 7 assists.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent had 10. Strus had 8. Duncan had 10. Lowry hit a couple big shots. He had 7. Yeah, like Marcus Smart, 9 points. Al Horford, 8 points. Tatum had 14. Jaylen had 19. And then
turnovers.
Yeah, so many turnovers.
Oh, wow.
So many turnovers.
Yeah.
They had 15 as a team.
I mean, that's not horrible.
That's not too bad. He had 12. So.
All right. So you got Nuggets and 6. That's what you're going with, Nuggets and 6.
All right. Nuggets and 6. Yep.
All right. Hey, what do you think of the NBA lottery and the Pistons getting the 5th pick?
Trash.
Rigged.
100% rigged.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Spurs. How they got Tim Duncan. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same shit. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They don't want someone like Victor to go to a team that's not super high market.
Yeah. Right.
What? It's like the NHL draft. It's like the NHL draft. The Red Wings should have had top 2 pick, and they don't get that. And then next Gretzky ever is coming up, and he's going to go to Chicago. So it's, I don't know. I think it's crap. Like, they should, now that the lottery came out and I see how it works, they should go back to the way it was, and whoever can lose the best should get the first pick.
Yeah.
Like they won 17 games this year to get the 5th pick.
Right.
What's the point? Like, you go try to win more then. Go. Yeah. I don't. If you're not guaranteed that first spot, it's not even worth it. Because it was the other year we had a high percentage to get it, and we got like the 8th pick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then we draft some Nimrod that sucks. We suck. So it's just.
Yeah. I mean,
I hate it.
There's just that's all part of being a Detroit sports fan.
It makes sense, right? Like it.
Exactly. Well, and you brought up Victor. Obviously, he's the clear number 1 prospect. A lot of people are saying that he's a bigger prospect than LeBron James. That I find a little bit hard to believe, just because of in today's social media world we live in.
100%.
I feel like this guy should be way more popular than he even is. And I look at the popularity that LeBron had since he was, like a junior in high school, and that was before social media, and everybody knew who this kid was. In this world that we live in today with social media, I feel like if this guy is really a bigger prospect than LeBron James, I feel like there should be even more popularity behind him, even more hype.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of had to like seek him out if you wanted to know more for Victor. Like, you have to go look him up to kind of stuff. I feel like LeBron was just right there in your face.
Yeah, right.
Like he was everywhere. I felt like.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if Victor being not in the U.S. has something to do with it, which it potentially could.
It potentially could, but then again, with social
media, anyways,
it doesn't matter. We're all connected now like that. So.
Right, and like if LeBron, like if say it's LeBron right now coming into the league, like Zion had a ton of hype.
Yeah, yep.
Like you could almost hyped up Zion more than LeBron just based off of his highlight tape.
Right. No, I would agree.
He played like 40 games in his career. Victor's just different. He's 6'4" or he's 7'4" or 7'3".
Yeah.
Does it all. So, but it kind of gives me Chet Holmgren vibes. So
yeah. He's gonna definitely.
If he makes it through summer camp, I don't know.
He's got to work on his body quite a bit for sure.
For sure, and I'm partially salty because I would love him in a Pistons uniform.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna get stuck with the small forward from Arkansas or some shit. So now we're in sham. We're gonna end up drafting like Brandon Miller to fit the bad boys role.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
I don't know.
All right. Well, hey Trent, appreciate your time today. Appreciate you joining us via the Ring with Ryan video call. But you've been on the program before. You know how I like to end these interviews. I want to know your top 5 hip hop artists. Not necessarily. Well, I guess it's up to you. You want to give me your top 5 who you think the greatest are, or do you want to give me your top 5 favorite? It is up to you today.
I'm gonna give you. My era is a little different than your era too.
True
so
statement.
I'm not gonna. I can't convince myself to go with like Tupac and Biggie.
Understandable.
I like those dudes. I can't roll with them as much.
Understandable.
So I'm gonna go with just like my 5.
All right, let's hear it.
Let's go with number 5. Probably Rick Ross.
Okay, all right.
Number 4.
Speaking of Miami,
love Rick Ross.
Yeah.
4. Let's go Drake at 4.
Okay, sure.
Let's go J. Cole at 3.
Okay.
Let's go Lil Wayne at 2.
Okay, all right.
And Lil Baby at 1.
Whoa. Okay, all right. And I'll be brutally honest with you. I consider myself a hip hop head. A hip hop head. But that's based on late '80s and then throughout the '90s.
I did it with some newer guys. So
I'll be honest with you. I couldn't even tell you one Lil Baby song. To be honest with you. And that just shows the difference in eras. It's actually
he is newer-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think he's got it.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's one of the dudes that talks about what he does and didn't do it.
Okay.
I think he's genuine. He's real. He's not. I don't think it's fabricated like some of the newer other guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's top tier.
All right. Well, hey, I respect that. I know that like I said, it would be unfair for me to talk about this era because I'm so uneducated in today's.
I do need to add an honorable mention though.
Sure.
I got to put in Corday.
Oh, I don't even know that name.
He's great.
Where's he from?
He's from Baltimore.
Oh, okay. All right.
I saw him live in Grand Rapids.
Really?
And I saw him live twice. Him and Logic. He was Logic headliner, and then he was the one before him.
Okay.
It's mainly there for him.
Yeah.
He only got a couple albums, but he's really good.
Where was that show at?
20 Monroe, 20.
Oh yeah.
21 or 20?
Oh yeah.
22.
20 Monroe, downtown Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
Those are my guys.
All right, cool, man. Well, all right, Trent. Well, hey, always appreciate you joining the Attack the Rack podcast. Certainly you are in the realm of the recurring guest, and it's always a Always a blast to have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Oh, yeah. Shout out Harold Varner winning the Live tournament this past weekend.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sure.
My guy.
All right. And thank you all for tuning in to the Attack the Rack podcast. And we will see you on the next one.
Please subscribe to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you are updated every time we post. Also, please like, comment, and share.